going or before moving ahead to the lectures, I would like to recap all the portion of the story which we have taught study. And you know better that I revised the taught portion in Hindi. So here I am going to do this. कल हमने देखा कि ईश्वरन द स्टोरी टेलर गणेश नहीं ईश्वरन द स्टोरी टेलर महेंद्र का कुक था यानी रसोइया था। ये कहानी जो हम पढ़ रहे थे, ये कहानी महेंद्र कह रहा है, एक व्यक्ति जिसका नाम गणेश है उसको। हम ये भी देखे कि महेंद्र एक फार्म में जूनियर सुपरवाइजर के तौर पर नियुक्त है और उसका काम है निरीक्षण करना कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट्स, जहां पर या तो फैक्ट्री बनता हो, ब्रिजेस बनता हो या डैम बनता हो। महेंद्र का काम एज ए सुपरवाइजर वहां सुपरवाइज करना। महेंद्र का काम था उस कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट में, उस कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट पर होने वाली सारी गतिविधियों पर ध्यान रखना। तो अपने काम की वजह से उसे एक स्थान से दूसरे स्थान जाना पड़ता था। जैसे ऑर्डर मिलते थे उसे उसके हेड ऑफिस से, उसे चाहे कोल माइनिंग एरिया में जाना पड़ता था, वहां से रेलवे ब्रिज कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट में जाना होता था, और कुछ महीने के बाद वहां से एक केमिकल प्लांट जो कहीं जिसकी कंस्ट्रक्शन हो रही थी वहां जाना पड़ा। हमने ये भी देखा कि महेंद्र जो जूनियर सुपरवाइजर था फॉर्म में, वह बैचलर था, यानी कि अनमैरिड था, और अनमैरिड होने की वजह से उसकी जरूरतें भी बहुत बड़ा साधारण था। और सबसे बड़ी बात थी उसमें कि वो किसी भी परिस्थिति में अपने आप को एडजस्ट कर लेता था, चाहे उसको रहना पड़े सर्किट हाउस में जहां पर कोई व्यवस्था ना हो, या अगर उसको रहना पड़ता तंबू लगा करके उस स्थान पे जहां पत्थर टूटता है तो वहां भी रह जाता था। हमने देखा कि उसके पास एक अद्भुत संपत्ति थी, हम संपत्ति भी कह सकते हैं, और संपत्ति कुछ और नहीं, कोई और नहीं, वो उसका कुक यानी कि उसकी रसोइया ईश्वरन। क्यों ये कहा गया कि ईश्वरन महेंद्र के लिए एक संपत्ति के बराबर था, यानी एसेट के बराबर था, क्योंकि वो केवल उसके लिए खाना ही नहीं बनाता था, बल्कि और कई तरह से वो महेंद्र के साथ फीलिंगली या अफेक्शनली वो महेंद्र से जुड़ा हुआ था। जहां महेंद्र को भेजा जाता था वो बिना शिकायत किए उसके साथ वहां जाने के लिए तैयार रहता था। जैसे कि वो ईश्वरन उसका कुक था तो उसके लिए खाना तो बनाता ही था, साथ ही साथ उसके कपड़े भी धोता था, और साथ ही साथ जब भी वो महेंद्र को उदास पाता था तो उससे घंटों बातें करता था। एक और अद्भुत क्षमता थी ईश्वरन में, वो कहानियां बना सकता था अलग अलग विषयों पर, कहानियां बना सकता था वो अलग अलग विषयों पर। तो कहानी सुना करके या उससे बातें करके, उसके लिए खाना बना करके और उसके कपड़े धो करके, उसके साथ कहीं भी जाने के लिए तैयार हो करके वो महेंद्र के को अद्भुत तरीके से मदद कर रहा था। और अगर हम क्षमता देखे थे कल, ईश्वरन में इतना ही यही एक विशेषता नहीं, एक और भी विशेषता उसमें थी, गजब की विशेषता थी कि वो सब्जी पकाने के लिए कोई भी चीज किसी भी विकट परिस्थिति में, किसी भी विकट परिवेश में जहां पर सब्जी बनाने पकाने के लिए कोई भी पदार्थ नहीं मिलता, फिर भी वो कहीं ना कहीं से उस परिस्थिति में, उस परिवेश में कोई ना कोई वस्तु, कोई ना कोई इंग्रेडिएंट वो इंतजाम कर ही लेता था। मतलब अगर किसी स्थान पर महेंद्र को भेजा गया, महेंद्र के साथ अगर उसको भेजा गया तो ईश्वरन भी गया। वहां अगल बगल में कोई दुकानें नहीं है, सब्जी की दुकान नहीं है, तो भी वो किसी न किसी प्रकार से वो वस्तुओं का इंतजाम कर सकता था, कर लेता था, जिससे वो सब मंदिर के लिए सब्जी बना सके। कहने के तात्पर्य कि अगर उस स्थान पर पत्ते भी मिलते थे या कुछ ऐसे चीज तो पौधा मिलता था जो आमतौर पर सब्जी के लिए प्रयोग नहीं होता था, उससे भी उन पौधों के पत्तों को भी या फूल से भी सब्जियां ईश्वर महेंद्र के लिए बना लेता था, बना लेता ही था। और इसी वजह से वो जहां गया था केमिकल प्लांट में, जिंक सीड के नीचे वो रह रहा था आराम से, क्योंकि खाने पीने की दिक्कत तो थी ही नहीं। जो उस परिवेश में उपलब्ध था उसी से स्वादिष्ट सब्जियां बना लेता था ईश्वरन महेंद्र के लिए। और आज हम कहानी की दूसरे पहलू को देखेंगे। सो लेट्स गो थ्रू द लेसन। Another paragraph of the story says that Mahendra would be up early. Mahendra would be up early in the morning and leave for work after breakfast, carrying some prepared food with him. Meanwhile, Iswaran would tidy up the shade, wash the clothes, and have a leisurely bath, pouring several buckets of water over his head. Muttering a prayer all the while. It would be lunch time by then. After eating, he would read for a while before dozing off. The book, usually some popular Tamil thriller, running to hundreds of pages, its imaginative description and narrative flourishes would hold Iswaran in thrall. This paragraph says that it was the habit of Mahendra to get up early in the morning, and he went for work after breakfast, carrying with some prepared food with him. Carrying some prepared food with him. It means that Iswaran the cook used to cook or used to prepare not only breakfast for Mahendra but also for his tiffin, so that his boss Mahendra could carry it with him. And Mahendra usually got up early in the morning and used to go to work after taking breakfast and carry some prepared food with him. After the departure of Mahendra, Iswaran completed his work like washing clothes and sweeping the rooms, arranging the rooms, or shade, whatever you want to say. After that, very comfortably, he had bath. While bathing, he used to pour several buckets of water over his head, uttering a prayer. It is seen in our country that some people love to chant some mantra while taking bath, and it was the habit of Iswaran to utter some prayer while taking bath. After bath, Iswaran would have lunch, and after lunch, he would read for a while before dozing off or before taking nap before taking nap means short sleep. The book that he usually read was Tamil thriller consisting or containing hundreds of pages. The imaginative description and narrative flourish of the book used to hold Iswaran in spell. So let's move ahead. His own description were greatly influenced by Tamil authors that he read. When he was narrating even the smallest of incident, he would try to work in suspense and a surprise, ending into the account. For example, instead of saying that he had come across an uprooted tree on the highway, he would say, with eyebrow suitably arched and hand held out in a dramatic gesture, the road was deserted and I was all alone. Suddenly, I spotted something that looked like an enormous bushy beast laying sprawled across the road. I was half inclined to turn and go back, but as I came closer, I saw that it was a fallen tree with its dry branches spread out. Mahendra would stretch himself back in his canvas chair and listen to Swaran's tales uncritically. This paragraph says that Swaran was greatly influenced by the Tamil authors that he used to read after taking lunch every day at noon. And whenever he used to narrate even the simplest or smallest incident, he would narrate it following the style of a author. He would try to create suspense and surprise to attract the listener. For example, instead of saying he had come across an uprooted trees on the highway, he would say, for example, whenever he had to say something about an incident that he had witnessed, instead of saying it in a simple way that he had come across an uprooted tree on the highway, he used to say it very special way, arcing his eyebrows suitably and holding his hands very dramatic gesture. The road was deserted. It means the road was empty and he was alone. Suddenly he had spotted something looked like an enormous bushy beast or bushy animal laying sprawled across the road. He further added to this that he had been half inclined to turn and go back. But as he came closer, he found that it had been a fallen tree instead of any monster. And the tree was there, spreading its dry branches. This special way of narrating any incident, this special way of narrating any story, surely attract to the attention of any the listener, that is Mahendra, and demonstrate or completely absorbed. Mahendra would stretch himself back in his canvas chair while listening to Swaran's Iswaran tells uncritically or without saying anything or without making any negative comment. So this was the tremendous quality of Iswaran to narrate even a simple incident as a very special, adding to it some suspense and surprise to make it charm, to make it very attractive, to attract the attention of the listener. That is Mahendra. Next lesson, the place I came from is famous for timber. Iswaran would begin. There is richly wooded forest all around. The logs are hauled onto the lorries by elephants. They are huge, well-fed beasts. When they turn wild, even the most experienced Mahavat is not able to control them. After this prolonged, Iswaran would launch into an elaborate anecdote involving an elephant. One day a tusker. So he further added to his description that the place he belonged to was famous for timber, and the area was rich in wooded forest, and in that forest, trees are cut down to get timber or to get wood for timber industry. The logs of the trees was carried to lorries by elephant, and you know better that elephants are huge, well-fed, or strong beasts. He also added that whenever elephants turn wild, even the most experienced Mahavat, the person who possesses skill to drive or to run, to drive elephant, find difficult to control them. Iswaran, after that, Ishwaran began to narrate. After that, Ishwaran began to narrate an incident related to an elephant. So he began narrating another story. As we had seen earlier, that he had tremendous quality to wave out endless stories. And it was his habit to start to narrate a story whenever he used to narrate an event or even a simple event. So after giving description about his place to which he belonged to, he at once began to narrate a story related to an elephant. So here is the story. One day a tusker escaped from the timber yard and began to roam about, stumping on bushes, tearing up wild creepers, and breaking branches at all. You know, sir, how an elephant behaves when it goes mad. Iswaran would get so caught up in the excitement of his own story that he would get up from the floor and jump out about, stamping his feet in emulation of the mad elephant. As I told you that while giving description about the place to which he belonged to, he told Mahendra that the place to which he belonged to was forested area with different trees, timber yielding trees. And the prime activity in that area was to cut trees to get logs for timber industries. The logs were carried to, or the logs were kept or carried to lorries with the help of elephant. He also told that Undoubtedly, elephants are huge animals, huge and strong animals. And whenever they turned wild, even the most experienced Mahavat find it impossible or difficult, very difficult to control them. After giving this description, he at once started to narrate a story related to an elephant. He began narrating that one day an elephant, Tusker, elephant having teeth, Tusker, ran away from the timber yard and began to move, crushing everything, tearing up wild plants, creepers, and breaking branches at will. He narrated that one day an elephant escaped from the timber yard and the beast was began to roaming, crushing everything that it found under its feet, tearing all the plants, animals, herbs, plants, trees, herbs, sun that it found on its way. And he further say, you know, sir, he saw elephant and an elephant behave very ridiculously when it went mad. Swaran was totally absorbed, totally attached in narrating the story, and with his excitement, he stood up and began jumping on the floor in the way an elephant does when it turns wild. Next, the elephant reached the outskirts of your town, breaking the fences down like matchsticks. He would continue. He came into the main road and smashed all the stalls selling fruits, mud pots, and cloths. People run helter-skelter in panic. The elephant now entered a school ground. The children were playing, breaking through the brick wall. All the boys ran into the classrooms and shut the doors tight. The beast grunted and wandered about, pulling out the football goal post, tearing down the volleyball net, kicking and flattering the drum kept for water and uprooting the shrubs. Meanwhile, all the teachers had climbed up to the terrace of a school building. From there, they helplessly watched the depredation of elephant. There was not a soul below on the ground. The streets were empty as if the inhabitants of the entire town had suddenly disappeared. Moving ahead, we come to know that the elephant, which escaped from the timber yard, reached the outskirts of the town or outside of the town, breaking everything, breaking fence down like a matchstick or like matchsticks. Iswaran further added to his story that the elephant came into the main road and began smashing, crushing, or destroying all the stalls selling fruits, mud pots, and cloths. The people living in that area got panicked and they began running here and there. The elephant now entered a school ground where children were playing. Breaking through the wall, the elephant entered there. When all the boys of the school saw elephant, they ran into their classroom and shut the door tightly. The beast or the elephant began crying loudly there, pulling out the football goalpost, tearing down volleyball net, and kicking and flattering the drum kept for water and uprooting the serves. The beast was crying madly. He was pulling out goalpost. He tore down the volleyball net and kicked or damaged the drum kept there for water. Not only this, the elephant also uprooted serves. All the teachers had climbed up to the terrace of the school building, and so from there they were looking the elephant helplessly. It means that it become it created this very confusing scene for the teacher that they hardly could decide what to do or what not to do. As the elephant was destroying everything there, and not even a single teacher was in a position to drive the animal out of the campus of the school. So from the terrace of the school building, all the teachers watched the animal smashing everything down in the campus of this. So, and see the impact of element on others. There was not even a single person was seen below on the ground. The streets were completely impeded, as if the person living there had suddenly disappeared. It was the panic, it was the fear of this animal that had escaped out from a timber yard, and the animal was destroying everything, and everything. Next para. I was studying in the junior class at the time and was watching the whole drama from the rooftop. I don't know what came over me suddenly. I grabbed a cane from the hands of one of the teachers and ran down the stairs into the open. The elephant grunted and menacingly swung a branch of a tree which it held in its trunk. It stamped its feet, kicking up a lot of mud and dust. I looked frightening, but I moved slowly towards it and stick in hand. People were watching the scene, hypnotized. People were watching the scene hypnotized from nearby housetops. The elephant looked at me, red-eyed, ready to rush towards me. It lifted its trunk and trumped loudly. At this moment, I moved forward and, mustering all my force, wagged its third toenail on the quick. The beast looked stunned for a moment, then it severed from the head to foot and collapsed. At the time when this incident relating to the elephant was going on in the campus of the school, at the time, Swaran had been in the junior class, and he had also been watching the whole drama that was going on in the campus of the school from the rooftop. Suddenly, what had happened to him, God knows. Suddenly, at once he snatched a cane from the hands of one of his teachers and began running down the stairs and came into the open. The elephant cried and menacingly, in a threatening manner, swung a branch of a tree which it held in its trunk. It stamped its feet, it kicked its feet on the ground, which flew a lot of mud and dust. The elephant surely was looking very frightening, but the child Swaran moved slowly towards the beast holding a stick in his hand. People were looking from their housetops hypnotizedly this scene. The elephant looked at him angrily and began ready to rush towards him. The beast lifted its trunk and cried loudly. At that moment, Swaran had moved forward, gathering all its force, and wham! That is, gave a hard blow. Its third toenail, that is up or down of his nose, and the beast shivered from head to foot, then fell down or broke down. So this is the para that we have read. So let's find out the difficult word, and the words are here. Difficult word means right. Word means ingredient, ingredients. Ingredients means food material. Food material. Desolate. DESOLATE. Desolate means lonely. LONELY. Sunsam. Yakam. Miraculously. Who is enchantly. You're wonderfully. Enchantly. Shelter means dwelling. Dwelling. Next one is literally. LEI. LEISURELY. Comfortable. Comfortable. So these are the names. Write it. The first, correct. I can write here also. Muttering. MUTTERING. Muttering means grumbling. Grumbling. Or saying in low tone. Or speaking something in very low tone, or saying something very slowly. Muttering. Next one is dodging off. DOZING. Dodging off means feeling laziness. Laziness. Imaginative. Description. Imaginative description means fancy story. Story. So you have seen ingredients means food materials in Hindi, खाद्य पदार्थ. Desolate means lonely. एकांत या सुनसान. Miraculously means instantly. Miraculously means instantly. In Hindi, wonderfully. In Hindi, or English, wonderfully or चमत्कारपूर्ण, चमत्कार ढंग से. Shelter, dwelling, आश्रय in Hindi. In the same way, literally, comfortable, आराम से, आराम पूर्वक. Muttering, grumbling, or saying something very low tone. गुनगुनाना या भुनगुनाना. Dawdling off, feeling laziness. जमाई लेना. Imaginative description means fancy story. In Hindi, काल्पनिक कहानी. I'm sure you have written all the things. I'm sure you have written all the things. So let me erase this one first.